I'm getting ready to go outside of the Albany Family Court, where I was called a murderer, a felon, a bunny rabbit killer, and a drug addict by my stalker, and he walked out with the reward of my child. At the time that he did this, I had an active restraining order against him. I called the Colony Police Department 36 times. I showed up at the Colony Police Department 4 times physically. 14 days later, after sitting there for hours, I was finally let into the investigative office, and I told them I wasn't leaving until they checked for my restraining order. At this point, 14 days had gone by. They had not still picked up the phone to check for my restraining order. Officer Ogden of the Colony Police Department finally, after 45 minutes of me begging him to pick up the phone, finally called. He put the phone down slowly because he was very upset that he had to file a warrant for my ex's arrest. I had a complete no contact order. My ex was given my address by the Colony Police Department, and he walked through my front door. In those 14 days, my ex went down to the restraining order court in Quincy and got a restraining order against me based off that I'm a murderer, felon, bunny rabbit killer, and a drug addict. And also, they threw kidnapping in there, making it look as though I'm a dangerous person. All of this was completely fabricated by my stalker and completely able to be checked in on. It was not hard to see. You can use Google and see I'm not a murderer. You can see that I didn't do any of those things. I live on a school bus out in the middle of East Jesus, minding my own business, doing my own thing, and this guy is nonstop dragging me to court saying that I have obtained guns, that I'm dangerous, that I'm a felon, that I killed a bunny rabbit, that I killed a human being. And Albany Family Court, Judge Kushner had recognized that I didn't do any of those things, and she was getting ready to give him a second-degree felony harassment charge. However, somehow the mail was routed to a different address, so I was unable to show up to make sure that he got in trouble for this. So when I went back, I explained to them they had sent it to the wrong address, and now I needed them to fix the situation and just have it reheard. It's being refused, and there's more on top of it now. In this, he's using evidence that's not evidence. I never hurt anybody. I never killed a bunny rabbit. I never did any of the things he's saying I did. When he came in, he came with no evidence backing up his claims. He didn't come here with a newspaper article. He didn't come here with a mortuary report. He didn't come here with anything that substantiated the claim that I was dangerous, a felon, a bunny rabbit killer, any of those things. The only thing that he did was he came in and he filled out an affidavit in all capital letters. And he used words like murderer, felon, bunny rabbit killer, really scary words that, you know, normal people, if you hear those things, you become extremely alarmed. Now, my civil rights were violated by Judge Joseph. I'm dealing with so many judges right now, oh God. Judge Joseph Rivera, and he was seen without me. Obviously, I'm not a drug addict. I would have been able to clear that up that day. I would have been able to clear up a lot that day. But my civil rights were violated, and I was not invited into court that day under the guise that this was an emergency and my son was in danger. My son had been with me for 5 full months at that point in time. I had Venmo payments from my ex going to me, and so they could see that he was with me the whole time. There was no scary situation. There was no need to hurry up and run. And so this guy went into these systems and he claimed I was all these really scary things and had these people write these reports. Now, These reports need to be retracted because he's gone back to Massachusetts again and went into a different restraining order court claiming that I'm a murderer, felon, bunny rabbit killer. And he got the reports from Colony Police Department and he got the reports from Albany Family Court, both which have recognized that these reports are false, but refuse to help me. After they found out about my restraining order, they only arrested him for a single phone call. This man had walked through my front door. I have text messages saying, "I'll be back." Now that verbiage, "back," means that someone's already been there. Like, it doesn't take a genius to see that I was afraid. Now, when he went back to Massachusetts, he was arrested with a weapon that's illegal in the state of Massachusetts. So, during that time, during that 14 days, he had a weapon. They gave him my address. All this under the guise that I'm a felon, murderer, bunny rabbit killer, but I'm not any of those things. Now, he's going for a restraining order in the state of Massachusetts where I have to drop everything that I am doing during Halloween season, my busiest season, and I have to go defend myself for, I don't even know what. I'm fighting a ghost. I call time and time again just to find out what was written on the affidavit. It's really not that difficult to let me know what I'm being accused of. He has said some heinous things about me, and none of them are true, and they're all provably untrue. It's just a real hassle for me to have to stop my life and keep going to defend myself against these restraining orders. And the really scary thing is, they're listening because it looks like he has substantiated reports from both these facilities. So now, if you're wondering why I am dressed like this, it's because I created a superhero called Karma. I don't think that I'm alone in this at all. Matter of fact, standing at this courthouse, in front of the courthouse for a multiple number of hours, listening to women crying as they run out the door, screaming about being abused, I don't think I'm alone. I don't feel as though anybody should be put through this process unfairly. These judges are not careful. They are letting children go into the hands of abusers. I proved my abuse. I brought 4.5 pounds of paperwork. These people are either blind or they're evil. Because to ignore that much when you're in a position of power is evil.